So it's way late in the game, but I'm going to share my Nonfiction November TBR. So Book Olive is sponsoring Nonfiction November for the last time. I'm new to the game, so I'm just now joining, but I love nonfiction books. We use a Charlotte Mason method in our homeschool, so we do a lot of primary sources and biographies and just actual books, not textbooks. We don't use textbooks outside of math. And so I wanted to share some of my nonfiction because I read a lot, and I'm finishing up some of my fall reads and getting ready for next year's school year reads at the same time. So I'm going to share, this is kind of a TBR, and also I finished a few. So first up is The Body by Bill Bryson. It's a guide for occupants. As a Christian, this is not a Christian source. This is very secular, so there's evolution and things I don't necessarily agree with. That doesn't mean I discount it. We don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, but the Body book has been wonderful. My oldest is using this as part of her science curriculum. And so yes, I did actually finally finish this. So it's not really TBR, but I did finish it in November, so we're going to count that. Because it is a hefty book, and it is eye-opening and shocking and somewhat disturbing. So yes, I'll talk more about that in my wrap-up. Then I also started and finished the Abraham Lincoln, A Man of Faith and Courage. I actually did the audiobook version just because I had so much. I kind of wish I had done the actual book because there were so many great quotes that I want to annotate and write down, so I'm going to have to go back through and do that. This was such a good biography, though. Very well written. Highly recommend. Then these are actual TBRs because I'm still working on it. This is Michael Faraday by, what is his name? Is it Henry Sootin? Harry Sootin. And they're out of print. If you ever find one at discount and wanted to send it to me, please. I love Harry Sootin's Newton, and Michael Faraday is what I'm going to read because that's what we are studying. So this is for my oldest, and it is like it's what we call a living book. It's a biography, but it really comes alive as you read it. At least I'm assuming because his Isaac Newton one did. I didn't read like a dry porn story. And I shared this in my historathon because I was mistaken, but I'm going to continue reading The Enigma Girls, which is clearly nonfiction. It is chock full of just like actual pictures and notations and things like I've never had a book that had so much great resources. It reads kind of strangely. My high schooler read this and is like dying for me to read it. She's into codes and sources. And so I'm excited to read it. If you don't know, the Enigma machine was what the Germans created to code their messages during World War II. And this is all about the girls and not so much like there's that movie with Benedict Cumberbatch and stuff about the actual bigwigs, the boffins, as they say in here. But this is more about the girls who are doing the like labor of the actual transmitting and stuff. And so how 10 teenagers broke ciphers, kept secrets, and helped win World War II. So this one actually I've started. I have not made it very far, but it is really good. And then I started the audiobook version of The Whole and Healthy Family just because I want to start having like in the morning when I'm getting ready. I'm not really ready to dive into fiction. So like while I was making breakfast, I listened to the first chapter. And it was really good, actually. Surprisingly, I had put this on my shelf. I think I won it in a giveaway a while back by Jody Mockabee, and I was like, yeah, maybe I don't think that's for me. And it just sat there, and I started the first chapter. It was so good, so good. So I'm excited to read this. It's helping your kids thrive in mind, body, and spirit. And it's not so much a how-to, but what they've gone through and what worked for their family, and just sharing their story. So I'm excited for that. Finally reading my first Tozer. I've read lots of quotes by him, lots of articles and things. I've never actually read any of his work. So I'm reading this. This is also a pre-read for my high schooler, but I'm enjoying it. As you can see, I'm starting to take notes on it. And so I've started it, not finished it. It's a short book, but it is so deep that you can't read like large chunks. You need to have time to process afterwards. And then this is like, if I have time, which I mean, it's November 12th, so who knows if I'll have time. But my oldest read this Amazing Grace, The Life of John Newton and his surprising story behind his song, which is Amazing Grace. He wrote that. And if you don't know, he was a slave trader who came to trust in Christ. And I've always been interested in his story, but I've never read his biography. It's not super long, so it shouldn't take me too long. But my oldest read it last term, and so I'm way behind. I didn't pre-read this one because some biographies you just know. But I've heard Bruce Hindmarsh is a really good author, so I'm excited to jump into this. I really do want to read William Wilberforce also biography, but for this month I'm going to try to get to this one. It's not long. I should be able to do it. My stack, like I said, I've already got 2 finished for the month. So we'll see. These two were finished, and I enjoyed them both. My ninth graders reading them. If you're curious, all those were, except for the whole family one. These are all books for my ninth grader. So anybody could read these. But so yeah, that's what I have going on this month in Nonfiction November. We'll see how well I do. This is my first time doing 2 readathons at the same time, so I'm excited. I'm doing really well on my historathon. Go figure, historical fiction is my penchant since I was a young child, but I do love nonfiction, so I will be sharing more about that in a couple weeks when I finish, hopefully. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.